Anyway, I just want to talk about the thing. I just don't understand the specific type of anti-racism movie. First of all, we need to understand what kind of racism are we talking about, and what are we trying to do. Now, the thing is, I really don't think we're ever gonna stop irrational racism. The type of racism that depends on no fact and is really stupid. And because I'm not allowed to reference any form of outside media, well, let's say a group hates another group purely because one guy said so. And, that really doesn't make much sense, because... Now, this is because you can't unconvince a person that isn't based on facts, because you can't disprove those facts. It's sort of like saying... It's like trying to convince a person that believes in flat Earth. You have facts, but they don't believe in facts. They believe in their own form of fake facts. So as a result, you can't disprove fake facts. You'll show them in space and they'll say, oh, this doesn't make any sense. You can't disprove fake facts, and that's why you can't disprove irrational racism. Again, when people are willing to believe that, when people really truly believe that, there is nothing that can unconvince them. They're pretty much lost, hopeless. This is insanity, and I had lots of troubles in my childhood, even comprehending how could this even be. This is equal person. Now, there's another type of racism, which I call fact-based racism, when one side generally dislikes another side because of something if this side is going to war with you and you think that it was unjust that they went to war with you, that's more of a logic-based racism. Now, logic-based racism and irrational-based racism can coexist. For example, so another guy makes propaganda about the other side, but it's really the difference between rational racism and irrational racism is that irrational racism is where it takes the rational beyond, where it's just absolutely making stuff up, even when the other side is just giving you flattery or something. Now, there's even another thing which I call not really racism, but just generalization. For example, all this side does only this. That's generalization. And it's really not that racist. It's racist, but I'm not saying that it's that horrifically part of human nature, because you can say, well, this side's all trying to kill me, so they must be all bad guys. Now, I want to reference a movie that I realized that I really liked when it came talking about racism, How to Train Your Dragon. I think that was the best movie against racism I ever saw, because it was actually talking to the people which weren't listening. They were talking to the people that can be tamed, that can be told about this. It said, people, stop trying to kill each other. Just think about it. Work together. Try to solve this problem. You're not that different. And I really thought that was a great message, because both sides were portrayed to have their equalities, negative and positive side. And you might think, oh, that was so great. They had to kill the evil big dragon. Well, the thing is, yes, because both sides do have... Everybody has this actual pure evil side, and not very little amount of the population is actually evil. Just evil affects things so much more. When we can understand that working together to solve our problems is going to be so much more effective, then the world is going to be a much better place. And I really like that movie for that. Now, I didn't like Avatar because it was pandering to the mindless racism. Oh, let's go get those space monkeys, and that type of African racism, Indians, racism against Indians, which has really already passed a long time ago. And I'm willing to watch Pocahontas, a little bit, because, Americans were douchebags. Not Americans, but however you call them, pilgrims or whatever, were douchebags, because they didn't understand the thing. But when it comes to, racism... in Avatar, because, you just think humans wouldn't do this, because, no matter how dystopian, they just act so stereotypically one-sided. And there's the good scientist, which was only shown to portray, oh, we're not all that evil. And I just really hated that movie for that point, because it just showed them as one-sided, stupid morons, and especially when the thing didn't work. The only reason the aliens were... in such a positive place was because, that nature gave them free housing, antibiotics, flight, And don't tell me it was some kind of thing of coming of age thing, because if each one of our people had a coming of age thing and then you get free flight, then I think wouldn't have had planes either. Like they also give them animals that listen to them, they give them this super cool goddess that listens to them. We had none of those, and the point is that I'm just tired of the type of Pocahontas story that is really one-sided, that is fighting against something that's really been cured, or if it isn't cured, then it's not going to ever be curable. Racism that's one-sided and is irrational can never be cured. The thing is, I like the story, and it can be told very well, but I just don't like it when it's just so one-sided. I like when it's showing to both sides, and one side regretting what it's doing, but it has to do it anyway, and then the other side doing it as well. And then it's even okay if they make one side kind of evil. It's not that bad, because not evil, but sort of wrong because of one person or two. And it probably shouldn't end with their entire race being annihilated, like in Avatar. The humans were all one-sided and evil, and they all got annihilated, and yada yada yada. Even though they were hunting for unobtainium, and they could have just whatever. So anyway, I just hate when the movies does the same type of plot over and over again. I How to Train Your Dragon really showed me that you can make this really good story from this one-sided thing. You can really make a great story from just, one-sided type of thing. But they really shouldn't be. Okay, I meant How to Train Your Dragon showed me that you can make a good movie from this type of story. One guy sees the wrongs of what he's doing by simply a change of occurrence. So for example, one guy was trying, this could be done with anything. So a policeman was trying to capture these bad guys or whatever, and realized that these bad guys have been doing stuff because of another guy. And so the police and the bad guys work together to stop them or something. You see, doesn't that give this really nice message and warm feeling in your heart about stuff? But I hate it when it's this, the cop joins the bad guys and realizes that the cops are actually eating children's souls and then shooting laser beams out of their eyes when he's not looking. I just kind of hate that type of story. And yeah, I know, but I hope you understand.